Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Tuesday, 18th of February. In this update, European nations and Ukraine have been excluded from the first stage of peace talks between Russia and the US. US and Russian officials are en route to Saudi Arabia for talks. Russia says Europe will have no role in these discussions. France is hosting an emergency summit with European and NATO leaders to discuss the situation. EU Observer foreign editor Andrew Redman told Andrew Dickens the meeting appears to be a last-minute scramble.
Europe has been taken by surprise at the speed with which the Trump administration has moved with its Russia plans.
Low net migration figures are being attributed to a sluggish economy. New Zealand had a net migration gain of 27,000 migrants in 2024, much lower than the 128,000 gained in 2023. ASB senior economist Mark Smith says in economic terms, New Zealand is not an attractive destination. Issues with New Zealand's regional connectivity are in the spotlight. Air New Zealand cancelled nearly 11% of flights between Timaru and Wellington last year, far above its national average of 1 to 2%. It blames weather, labour shortages, engineering requirements and supply chain issues. South Island Minister James Meagher says it's a concern.
Because it's a barrier to growth in those regions. So if you think the ability to do business and get people in and out of towns, it is a real challenge, especially connecting to places like Wellington that act as a hub to other places.
Anger in Dunedin as a local conservation group slams those harassing sea lions for social media content. The New Zealand Sea Lions Trust says issues are on the rise as both tourists and locals engage in poor behaviour with the animals. Spokesperson Hannah Raven says people are openly and brazenly breaching the Marine Mammal Protection Act.
So they'll be throwing sand, rocks. We've had people throwing apples at sea lions, and it seems really to get specific footage that they can use for photos and videos.
Genesis Energy says it's doing what it can to ensure Huntly Power Station helps the country avoid another generation shortfall this winter. More than 500,000 tonnes of coal was restocked earlier this month, with another 500,000 tonnes on the way before September in anticipation of demand. Genesis Chief Executive Malcolm Johns told Andrew Dickens Huntly's units ran at full capacity last winter.
We worked our way through about 800,000 tonnes of coal, so 1 million tonnes of coal is about appropriate for what we believe we can genuinely put through the machines.
The Vatican says Pope Francis' respiratory tract infection is presenting a complex clinical picture. Results of tests conducted in recent days indicate the 88-year-old is suffering from a polymicrobial respiratory tract infection. In sport, Kane Williamson will join Middlesex for the English cricket season after opting out of a central contract at home. He's set to play in the County Championship and T20 tournaments from May until September. Former Tour de France cycling champion Geraint Thomas has announced this will be his final year as a professional. He's 38. The Wellington Phoenix will be without defender Sam Sutton for Saturday's A-League football derby against Auckland FC at Mount Smart due to a mandatory one-match ban for a fifth yellow card of the season. I'm Nivareti Manu, that's your latest news fix, and we'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.